In your neediness, you repel what you want. When you live in scarcity, when you live in lack, when you put too much importance on something, when you put people on a pedestal, or when you just care too much, you end up repelling and pushing away the thing that you actually want. But what you have to really learn, and this is something I had to learn a lot, is that when you feel complete, whole, worthy, content, grateful, you naturally attract those things. You naturally magnetize those experiences, those people, those situations in your life. Unfortunately for us, the ego can make it very easy for us to become obsessive, to live in doubt, to live in stress, to live in fear, to live in worry, to be insecure, because we project on the people, on the thing, on the experiences. You know those goals that we have and all those things that we seek in the world, we project our needs on it. And so the moment you start to feel separated, like, okay, I need the money in order to feel safe, in order to feel free, in order to feel secure, in order to feel, like I can breathe a bit again, kind of thing, right? Or I need the job, or I need a friend, or I want that partner to finally feel loved again and complete again, right? So you can see that the moment you project the thing that you really seek, because here's something that I want to emphasize. What we truly desire, the goals we have, the desires that we want, it's not really for the things, but it's for what we think it's going to make us feel. Yeah? So the relationship might make me feel loved, and I can trust, and there is connection, and money can make me feel safe or free, or make me feel worthy or whatever. So this is really what we want. But we have to realize that we are only lacking what we haven't mastered between ourselves. And so if I am constantly chasing worthiness or security or love or happiness externally through certain outcomes, it simply means that I haven't mastered that quality between myself. And in my channel, I talk a lot about how I used to chase a lot worthiness in my own life. Like the goals I had for the money, for the business, for relationship, for working out or looking a certain way was all about feeling good about myself. And the moment things were not working out or shaping themselves, or I thought I was less, or started comparing myself, like the moment something like this happens, I started to feel guilty, I started to feel afraid, I started to feel scared, I started to feel like not good enough yet, which made me feel what? I need more money, I need more clients, I need more. Because my mind had made it so like this is the only thing that can really alleviate that feeling of fear and guilt and not good enough. But you see, the irony is that the more I chase those things, the harder it is for me to feel complete. But also it's the hardest for me to get there. So it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of sacrifice. It's the hard road. So the lesson I really had to master, and it wasn't easy, but it was to realize that none of those things, no matter how much I want them, can make me feel whole, worthy, good enough. It's my job. And it's really learning that, okay, I need to start giving to myself the things that I feel like I like the most. Self-love through self-acceptance. So right now, as my life is, even if I freaking dislike it, no matter where you are, no matter what is happening, even if your life sucks right now or you have so many problems, the moment you're able to simply accept it or shift your focus toward like appreciating what you can, I'm alive, I'm healthy, I have this and that, the moment you're able to shift that state and to start giving to yourself what you feel like you need the most right now, maybe it's security, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's love, right? Can I make myself feel secure now, even in the midst of all that unknown and all that volatility and all those crazy things happening in the world? Can I center myself? Can I take a moment to do a breath exercise or work out or take for a walk or whatever it is that makes me feel safe? Can I take responsibility for that so I can embody that state? And the moment you do that, and you do that continuously, and you start to condition yourself to give yourself the thing that you need the most, or that you perceive like you lack the most. So in my case, worthiness. So when I started letting go of the inner critic, the need to compare myself, the need to be better, the need to be, in a certain way, and simply starting to accept myself and starting to accept that I am worthy, even if I never grow more than where I am right now. And it wasn't easy, because there was tremendous amount of resistance, because your ego mind would be like, there's no way I'm settling for this shit. Does that make sense? But it's not about settling, it's not about giving up, it's not about not getting those things. If anything, it's about how can I get there faster and in a better way, and an easier way, and even feel more fulfilled. But what I had to realize is that that resistance I was feeling was exactly why I was struggling so much in my life, because it was so hard for myself to give myself that feeling of fulfillment, that feeling of worthiness. Like, how insane is that? My mind was resisting me making myself feel worthy. Can that show you the level of insanity that we can live in? So I need to learn to let go of certain old beliefs, certain old experiences, certain old emotions that I still had with me from my past. And I had to learn myself, to train myself differently, to love myself, to build my self-esteem, and to realize that I am worthy now, and to make it a non-negotiable. And of course, it's a journey, it's a learning process. Yeah. So you have to realize, okay, where in my life do I care too much? Where in my life am I giving so much importance to people, to things? What am I putting on a pedestal constantly? Thinking that if I have a certain amount of followers, subscribers, or money, or a certain situation, or a partner, or whatever, that thing will make me feel complete, or loved, or free, or whatever that feeling is for you personally in your life. Find out, what's that feeling that I'm chasing the most? And ask yourself, look back in your life, look back at 2, 3, 4, 5 years, all the goals you had, and see the pattern of how much you've been seeking through all those experiences, all those goals, that feeling. So the question then is, if I start to give myself that feeling, what would happen? Well, this is what you have to realize, that in your neediness, you repel. So when you live in lack, you repel the things that you want. But when you're complete, when you feel whole, there is no lack. So we magnetize how we feel. This is why Neville Goddard said, feeling is the secret. Yeah? So when I can learn to teach myself, again, that I'm worthy now. I don't need that extra money, or that client, or that people to see me in a certain way, or to appear successful for, I am worthy now. Hey, what a concept. I feel safe now. I feel free now. I feel loved now, whatever it is. If you can give yourself what you feel like you lack the most, and live from that state, and train yourself, and recondition yourself and your mind, you will naturally start attracting those things. We all have experienced that in relationship. The more needy you are, the person you have a big crush on cannot run fast enough away from you. And sometimes you have people you don't really care about, and you're like, whatever kind of thing, and they just can't get enough of you. So you see, the dynamic is that when you feel complete, when there's love in your heart, you naturally attract people who reaffirm that state, reaffirm that love, who live from that level as well. But when you're needy or desperate to have someone, anyone, it creates and opens the door for some really toxic shit in your life. So I hope this video makes sense, because there's a massive lesson here, and that lesson can be so much easier when we realize the gift of detachment, meaning putting a distance between how I feel, what I project, and being able to look from a brand new perspective and realize, okay, what is it that I think this thing will give me? And how can I start giving myself that things now? Because what you give, you already have. And this is why cause and effect, the more you give, the more you receive. And so the more you start to give yourself that worthiness, or that love, whatever the quality is, and then the more you start giving it to others as well, seeing others as being capable, worthy, good enough, the more it starts to just show up in your life, knock on your door, break your door. It just can't come enough. It just comes rushing in your life. And so this is not something that you can simply intellectually figure out and sounds like, oh, that sounds like some poetic shit. No, this is something you have to experience for yourself. You can watch videos the whole day, read books the whole day, but until you embody that again and again and again, especially when you live in a place or a time where you're triggered by all your fear, by all those old beliefs and old emotion, that's the moment, that's the gift to let go of the past and to show yourself, I can be different in this situation now. That's when the growth happens, that's when the transformation happens, that's when the miracles happen. Let me know what you think down in the comment. As always, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Be well.